1.
All right, hello everybody. Welcome to Mediaverse Movie Night Episode 2. We have a few awesome 48-hour films for you this evening, and we have a special guest with us, Patrick Boberg.
Hi guys. Thanks for having me.
Patrick is the creator of one of the films we're going to be seeing tonight, Essential Essence. We also have with us on the wings here, Brittany, the boss Benedict, and Damien, hide your wife, hide your kids, Alan Mancino. Say hi, everybody.
Hello.
How is everybody?
All right. So the way this is going to work is we're going to stream the movie first, and then we're going to give ourselves a few minutes just to sort of talk about the film, give it a quick review. Sorry for the bumps. And we will continue on to the next movie. So we hope that you stay with us and enjoy the podcast. And enjoy the live stream. And we will get right into it. Patrick, what do you have to say? We're going to be introducing Essential Essence first.
Okay. Essential Essence is a film that we made for the 40-hour film project this year. And it stars some people who may or may not be turned into puppets. Find out in this next couple minutes. Or who's ever pointing the cameras? The internet.
We also have Casper back here. I was informed.
This is my doppelganger, Casper, who is essential to the story, I guess. So look for him. And if you call in during the live stream and tell me exactly what second in the film he's in, I will give you nothing.
Wow.
Not a damn thing.
I'm sorry.
So excited.
Thought there was like a prize round for this thing. But we're going to go ahead and start the first film. And we hope you enjoy. Here comes Essential Essence.
First off, I just want to thank you all for coming in on your weekend. I know it's your day off, but I wouldn't have invited you here if I didn't think this was like an incredible sales opportunity. I'd also really want to introduce our newest sales associate, Brian, who's today is his first day. Everyone, let's snap for Brian. Officer Ruska. So the product I'm about ready to show all of you is guaranteed to take you to the top of the Paramita sales force, which is why we've invited Officer Ruska to ensure the safety of the product and the safety of everyone in this room. So I'm sure you're all curious about what this product is. I'd like to introduce you to Essential Essence, the latest, greatest natural alternative to alcohol. How it works is it comes in 3 phases. It starts with this party vibe, and I can't remember where or when, but it dips a little, and then after that, it's an experience you'll never forget.
Okay, but this looks like my grandma's humidifier. How am I supposed to sell this door to door?
So in addition to the natural high that you get, Essential Essence also provides countless other essential health benefits. For example, you'll feel softer skin, you can't stop smiling, you feel supported and light on your feet, and children will love you.
Good, kids hate me.
I'm more of a hands-on learner. Why don't we see what this thing can do?
Right on cue. Here we go.
I can't feel my legs.
Guys? Everybody calm down. It's time for phase 1. Party!
Got the munchies, man. I got cotton mouth.
Yeah, essentially.
Mom! 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 Send help! Send help!
This must be phase 2! Phase 2! The dip!
Okay, everyone. What you've experienced is totally normal.
I didn't sign up for this. Who in the puppet is that? What was that?
What's that poking into my back?
Don't worry, it's just my gun.
Something flew in my mouth.
Something's wet.
I think I found a light switch.
Okay, you guys, shut up! Guys, this is definitely the dip, right? This is the dip.
That guy definitely wasn't with us, was he?
No, but it kind of looks like George from IT.
Guys, is that Casper?
Okay, I think I'm done. I want to go home. Didn't know drugs were like this.
So is this what you guys normally do on weekends? I'm gonna need therapy after this.
Now here's where you really sell them. It's time for phase 3. Going up.
Beef Sunday.
Hug a tree, and the tree will hug back.
Casper's back!
Look, I might feel like I've been smooching with Jessica Tandy, but I'm not selling drugs.
Whatever, man. It's like Rowena said. It's all natural. No side effects. I'd rather sell the world this than some pill, you know?
Natural? No side effects? What do you call this? I'm gonna call you Willoughby.
You know what? I love drugs and guns.
So what do you think? Are you ready to sell? Great. Jada's up next with
Cat umbrellas.
Woo!
Stop it.
Oh my god, that movie is so funny, dude.
Thank you. Thank you. Team effort for sure. But yeah, thank you.
All right, so if you, the home audience, if you don't know what a 48-hour film is, essentially we are given a a category, a line of dialogue, a character, and a prop that must be incorporated into a film that is written, produced, and edited in one weekend, literally 48 hours. So Friday night to a Sunday night, we are making this film happen. And so the team Tiny Explosions made this entirely in 48 hours, which is extremely impressive, first of all. Do you want to talk about what the prompts were that we had to accomplish?
Yeah. So every team pulls a different pair of genres out of a hat, and you can pick one, the other, or mix them, right? And we pulled Fish Out of Water, and the other might have been Western. No, martial arts. Oh. And so we, about Christmas time. Oh, wait, and the other parts is the line of dialogue was, help me out here, guys.
I can't remember where or when.
I can't remember where or when. Yes. The prop was,
a tray.
A tray.
Yeah.
Yep. And what else? Oh, the character is Jada or Jared Vanson. And you guys had both.
Salesman.
You guys had both. So
our film had both.
Yeah. And, well, we technically had both, but we cut out the line of one guy being called Jared. We just didn't know which one we were going to use. But, so the puppets. Yeah, we around Christmas time, I texted my co-producer Brian Hogan, who was trying to be here, and he's if we need to call for a phone a friend, he's at the ready and wait.
He's the guy.
Nice.
So,
who was he in the film?
He is the new person who is the new hire, and was saying it feels like he's smooching Jessica Tandy. Yeah, which is his lifelong dream, by the way.
Okay.
To Jessica Tandy.
You know.
But, yeah, so around Christmas, I messaged him because I was watching the Muppets Family Christmas, as one does at Christmas.
Of course.
And I said, we should make a puppet movie, short film. And, I think if you look on my blog, in the text, it's something about he's the driver for a bunch of puppets robbing a bank. And of course, 48, I'm a stickler for the rules. We're not going to write a single thing beforehand, This is about as close as it comes to breaking the rules that I'm willing to do. It's like, if we have the puppets done in time, we can use them in 48. And we happen to make it by about 2 weeks,
Oh, wow.
And Brian went, full Kilroy and made 6 puppets in that time. Yeah, he made 6 of the puppets. So he made the big black fuzzy puppet that the lead salesperson does. He made the cop puppet. He made the puppet with the eye that twirls. You may not have missed that, but he's in the yellow and white shirt. And he made his puppet, which is the guy wearing the Hawaiian shirt. And I made Casper. And everyone else made their own puppet. They're the specific one.
Who made the GIMP?
I'm still impressed.
Brian made the GIMP too. Yeah, pardon me. Yeah, but the GIMP is personally my favorite. I love Casper. Sorry, Casper. But the GIMP's incredible.
When the GIMP showed up, that just changed the game for the whole film. It was just oh my God, what are we watching?
Yeah, I'm by no means going to say this is the best thing we ever made. I do love it. But I do think that my goal in anything we make is I want the audience at some point to just have a what am I watching type moment. Yes, and I think the GIMP appearing is that thing. Because, not only is it
broken,
the GIMP with no explanation for who they are, why they're there. Supposedly they're supposed to be in the room with the other salesmen who are doped up, right? But he shows up and starts rubbing lotion on his nipples or her nipples. Yeah. Are we allowed to say nipples on a live stream?
GIMP.
I've already said nipples 3, 4, 5 times. Nipples.
Times.
Nipples.
Oh, thank you, Dean. I appreciate it.
We got it again.
But,
So you had the puppets ahead of time, which is really cool. And I completely lost my other question that I was going to ask you.
I wanted to say that I felt like correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the trailer you put out had no sign of puppets in it.
Correct.
So then when we were there, we all got to see this film at the screening.
Yeah.
So when we we're at the screen, the puppets surprised everyone because it was not in the trailer.
Yeah.
And of course we watched your trailer because
that's what you do.
If anyone doesn't know, these guys won the whole shebang last year. So the guys to watch. So
when I saw Essential Essence, I thought it was going to be a fart joke.
Oh, yes,
the whole time was
I was but you don't go back to the same well. For people who didn't see our film last year, we made The Run, which is about a guy who is lactose intolerant, stays up 24 hours, eats some cream cheese sushi, and then has some adventures trying to make to the bathroom in time.
Like it was
and there were a lot of fart gags in that and fart sound effects, and
it was a 5-minute shit bit. It was great.
Yeah. So if you're too old, if you're not cool enough to enjoy a fart joke, then you're just living life the wrong way. It's like, why deprive yourself of that? But yeah, so I don't think there are any farts in this one, but there might be equal gunshots to farts.
Oh my gosh.
So maybe you guys can have me back and we can count them 1 to 1.
There we go.
With split screen movies.
We were asking you about that like while the film was playing, but you made the decision to add the gunshots in post. Like that wasn't even like scripted where he was just shooting his gun off. It was just like something, and it was so hilarious.
Such a great moment.
Yeah,
element.
I'm a major fan of Edgar Wright and like Shaun of the Dead, but my favorite film of his, maybe like top 5 film period, is Hot Fuzz. Hot Fuzz. And if you ever seen his TV show he did before that called Spaced, there is nonstop sound effects. And when we made The Run, I knew that we needed some sound effects for fart gags and bathroom gags, as one does. And since then, I just realized that like sound effects are kind of like a little bit of an easy laugh, but also like really add something to it. And of course, there's like Foley work in any film. I'm sure you guys have had it, door creaking or slurping
It's
of
atmosphere.
Chinese food when it's Christmas time or something. But
Sure.
but it's just so this movie has a lot of gunfire sound effects and little like twirly sound effects. And there's when you go from what's happening with the puppets, security cam footage back in the office space, there's like a sound effect.
Yep.
And so, yeah.
Well, I remember watching this in the theater at Best of City in Des Moines, and it really felt like you were kind of on an acid trip. For the
Yeah,
film.
I love
you were
hearing
there
that.
with them with the
Good.
puppets.
Yeah.
It was you were able to identify with puppets of all things.
No, that's the biggest compliment.
It really
I can
brought you
receive.
into the atmosphere, dude.
That's cool because the ending that we just screened is not the same ending as the one that was in the theater. There's there's one extra line of dialogue that we went and shot the day after 48 because I was not happy with the end.
Yep.
Oh, sure.
And
we all make a director's cut.
Yeah, and I cut out like one where all the puppets are walking behind the hedge, and it takes like 10 seconds, and it's just like, like shoe leather. Just get that out of there. Get to the good stuff. Don't bore us. Get to the chorus type stuff. So, and I was worried at the end. It doesn't really sell as they were when they were on ecstasy, so, or whatever puppet ecstasy is. So that's good to hear. I'm glad. Thank you.
Yeah. What do you guys got back here?
Well, I just wanted to say that I think this film is a really big success in that it was a really fun watch. Like, just as a film, not even knowing it's associated with the 48. It's just a really fun watch. Comedy, as we'll say, Damien and I say, we think it's a challenge, and I don't think everybody can nail it, but it feels like you guys are kind of professionals at it by now.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to say, but it also feels like the production of it was a huge success. Like 48 hours and you did all that. Like I'm sitting here watching it like, when did you have time to do all this? And like, how long did it take things? Like, when did you start editing? I'm super impressed with all you accomplished on the production side.
Yeah. I'm going to have to watch it again. No, really, because exactly what Brittany's saying, I was unable to really even focus on the story because as somebody who just went through the 48, all I'm doing the entire time I'm watching it is being like, how did that get shot? And it's funny because I was busting your balls before we started about, I was busting Michael's balls about, you winning best editing. Clearly. Again, I have to watch the film again before I can give an honest critique of the actual film because I was blown away by the construction of it. So congratulations. That was fantastic.
Very impressive.
Yeah, well, appreciate that. So my day job, I work in television production, and I think, being a fan of like Edgar Wright and who directed Trainspotting, Danny Boyle. These are like, kinetic filmmakers. And I also really like the idea of like one shot, if you get it, just move on. So like, I don't need 40 takes to find the right thing. So I'm directing and editing. I'm just like, we got to move it on. And I think our team has gotten used to that. Which like we had some people who were on another team that joined us this year. Well, 2 different teams. And they are the exact opposite, where they just make sure that they got it, and they'll shoot dozens of takes to make sure they got the laugh or whatever. And I'm like, well, this is digital. I can review it if I have to. And I'm a little version of a one-man band because I'm monitoring, I'm recording, I'm directing.
Sure.
I mean, I couldn't do it without my buddy John Hoffman, who's our sound recordist, and helps a lot with the sound effects and things like that.
But you've got your crew built and in place, and so you're almost like on a telepathic connection with them. You know when they've got it. You know.
Yeah, I keep like a nerdy spreadsheet of like all the films we've done and what's going on in it and who's acted with us. We've had 54 different actors in our films throughout the year.
Wow.
Like Brian is almost the central figure in a lot of them, and Joe, another woman who played the puppet with the black shirt, who's like, guys, that one, she's been the lead in a lot of our films. But yeah, I was telling you all before the stream started, that I thought hands down you guys were the best written film of the year at 48.
That's these two.
That means a lot.
Well, here's your kudos. It was incredible.
Team effort.
It's hard to write a film, period. I've written feature length films that are just too big to make happen. I'm sorry, I bumped it. But, short films, when you get an evening, I don't know, how long did it take you guys to write yours?
I think we had the script done by 3 a.m. on
3 a.m. No, I'm like, we're out of here by 11 p.m.
No,
now more than ever because I've got young children. But
Sure.
yeah. So wait, you two wrote it, just you?
So the concept was, Alana came up with the base of the concept. So we allowed the whole group to, throw
We have
ideas
a group
around.
chat, but we have a kind of a more strict physical writers room.
Yeah.
But we also have a group chat, and then when they announce, what our category stuff is, then we can get the whole group throwing ideas at us. So
It was like Alana who was like, what if we have salespeople who knock on a door and it's the mob? That was like the initial idea.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it got whittled down, and it probably was like 11 p.m. or something, then it's me and Damien in a room at the keyboard writing the script.
Yep.
So and it was fantastic. We wrote, we storyboarded, we shot listed, pseudo, of course.
Read.
We didn't
Table read.
we didn't actually
together,
we just did it together. We didn't actually make a storyboard. We talked about the shots as we were writing.
We refined it to a point where, and it's funny because you were talking earlier about we added some stuff afterwards because we weren't happy with it.
Yeah.
Our very first edit of our 48 was the one that we submitted.
Oh, cool.
And a huge part of that was us our ability to pare it down and set it up and get it almost exactly the way we wanted it. Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, that's cool. So we follow very much like a Mike Lee, Terrence Malick approach, where it's kind of, we got an outline, and then we go, when there's some lines that we want to make sure that are in there that are just too good of a joke. But then when we get to the shot, we're like, okay, you're going to say this. And then the actor or actress will just have a variation of that. And normally it's better than whenever myself or Brian or another person has come up with. So it's been several years, I'm going to say 8 years, since we had an actual script where it was like, exterior, interior, midday, moments later, that type of stuff. And that's, it's just sanity's sake, because I'm the person who's the head of the team and going to edit it all and live with it. And I don't know, I think for our perspective. Oh, and no one on our team is what I think would call themselves like a professional actor or in community theater or searching out casting calls. Like I know
doing great.
all put out casting calls and things like that for films. And I don't think anyone on our team is gonna message you and say, I really want that part. I'm a 25 to 45-year-old woman. I could do that thing. But they're all great. And I think when we were talking about how hard comedy is, I mean, I've known, the blonde woman at the beginning of the film, I've known her since kindergarten.
Wow.
No kidding.
Yeah. And, we all, like you guys were before I showed up, busting each other's chops, having a good time, knowing what's funny between us. And it's kind of like if we laugh, even though there's some really weird humor in some of our stuff, I feel like it makes other people laugh. And that's just, we're naturally more suited to improv as a team.
That's incredibly interesting. Because I think that funny, using your premise as it relates to maintaining your sanity, I would almost go the other way for our team, where having things scripted and to a certain degree being able to be like, no, this is what we want, and then move in that direction has been incredibly helpful. And I do think it's very interesting to see two completely oppositional approaches to it that both yielded some
successful results.
Yeah, some pretty good films.
Yeah, I agree. It is always kind of fun to see other people's processes and how it works.
Yeah.
I mean, do you guys normally do a dozen takes, or you're like, oh, we got it, but what if you tried it, with a Cockney accent or something?
What
if Damien, you choked him just a little harder?
So, I don't know if you've met Brittany.
It's not takes, Damien. It's not takes.
No, Brittany will get it until she gets what she wants, or in this case, what we want. And I absolutely loved it. Normally, we are very much about like, hey, I got an idea. If an actor has an idea for taking it a different direction, and it's funny because I've been that actor when Brittany is the director, and she's fine with it. On the 48, we don't generally have time for it, particularly if it is a scripted, humorous situation where we have decided, and we're right for the most part, that like this is what's going to be funny. That's what we want. Britt?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think we do like a ton of takes. Just like a couple till you get it, and then if somebody wanted to try something, sure, go ahead. If we were like, if we were running behind, no, sorry, we got to move on. But they do like to give me a lot of heck because I am like coverage queen. I do like to get a lot of different coverage.
That's nice.
All the coverage.
But I want to say, like, I think a big difference between maybe our two groups is like, it sounds like you're writing, you're directing, you're editing, whereas we kind of got different people in those roles. So I do think the script is an important guide just to keep us all on track with each other, whereas like you're the guide. Like you're your own guide in a way,
Yeah, I feel a little uncomfortable being like, I'm the writer, editor. I am the editor. I am the director. The writing is done definitely by committee, which sometimes is a benefit and sometimes is it's like hard. A stumbling block. It's certainly it's definitely the hardest thing. And like even this film, for instance, so the part when they're all in the neon lights and in the ball pits and things like that, when we were filming there and we were wrapping that set, Tosh Dillinger, who was on this former team called One Genome Short, who will hopefully come back and do next year, he leaned into me and I had this like suspicion in my head. I was like, this is just missing some direction and some like, just you could tell the audience isn't losing the beat. And he said, your next scene needs some serious dialogue. And I was like, just slap me in the face, why don't you? It's true. It's like sometimes we tend to have too much fun. And if there was like that, this is the script, you need this is, and there's going to be these 3 shots and the storyboarded out, that might help. But, I still think it's pretty fun. But,
yeah, it's like whatever whatever you find to be your process, and if it works, like keep rolling in it.
Yeah, and I do think that it's interesting. The oftentimes that process is dictated by what you've established as protocol. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like to a certain degree, you have been kind of the guy running it. If nothing else, you're steering the ship. Mm-hmm. There were times on this 48 where Brittany and I had no idea what some other facet of the crew was doing because they were setting up something completely different, and that was good, and it was great if that's something that can be done. But it's funny, both of our processes make sense to me given the situation.
Yeah, not to like talk about how great Brittany is, but I've heard from other people and other podcasts.
She's so great, dude.
And with Michael on your
it's so frustrating
on the Mediaverse podcast. So with Michael, he was talking about you're the assistant director with a lot of these projects. You've directed some.
Are you talking about Michael Minard?
Yeah, Michael
Minard.
And
okay,
Kevin's
okay.
mentioned. Were you?
Sure. Yeah, I assistant directed on his feature, Michael Minard's feature. You Should Have Killed Me. I'm assistant directing with Kevin Isaacson right now.
Yeah. It sounds like we've had people, especially last year at the Run. Brian Hogan, my co-producer, his wife, who acts sometimes, but also last year she was just a great like script supervisor, and it's just like we had a much more detailed outline. It was much more planned out, like bits and laughs and more lines. This year was very loose, and that's like invaluable. This year there was just too many things going on. It was a little too loose of what we were doing, but I totally see like the value in having like a Brittany who is just going to be a hawk.
Yep. Well, and on a 48, an AD is almost spurious. Because guess what you don't have? You don't have a shot list. Yeah. You haven't had pre-production. Yeah. You don't necessarily have all of these things that the AD traditionally does. Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, we could do an entire podcast on how awesome Brittany is.
Oh, geez.
For real, man.
Well, I just want to say, though, I do think you're saying it's important to have an ID, but it's just important to have, I think, someone you trust, like, helping you along with the day. Because originally, going into the 48, I was just gonna direct. Like, it was gonna be my thing, and I just also AD like as well because. Did you know, Damien, I'm a control freak?
You know, I heard that somewhere.
And I was just going to direct, but just knowing the 48 and how it works, I was like, I cannot do this alone, and had asked Damien to direct with me, and this would have been our third, I don't know, our second big project, like co-directing. I've said it a million times, wouldn't do it any other way. Like, it was the best experience ever. Anyway, I just recommend if you're able to find someone to do it with, have someone that you trust and, like, share the experience and the control and the management.
Are we still talking about assistant directing?
No, I know. I think I'm talking about directing.
About
or finding that in an assistant director if you don't want to co-direct.
Yep.
Wait, can I ask also, talking about your film this year, is this the first time you guys had like there's a big current of comedy in it, especially like the slurping and the blood splatter. You know, I feel like last year your film was pretty sci-fi serious, right?
Yeah.
That's the first time I saw you in a project. Was that your first time with the team?
First time acting.
Acting. Okay.
You were Brian Johnson. Yeah.
Was the name of your
in
character?
DOA.
Oh my God, that's right. I died in that.
Kid I went to high school with. That's why I remember
Is
the
the
name.
question...
I'm behind the camera most of the
No,
time.
but it's like so. This like we do comedy no matter what we get.
Right.
But this is the first time I noticed for sure that you guys were like adding in like these are laughs. Like
Some of that came from Kevin Shepard, he didn't write this, but he was a big inspiration for these two in writing because we've learned a lot of like writing lessons from him, like letting the scene breathe and like giving comedy the time that it needs to become funny.
Yeah.
You know, if that slurping scene had gone on for like 5 seconds less, I'd be like, oh, there's just slurping. That's gross. But the fact that it went on as long as it did, made it funny.
Absolutely.
You know, and that was from Kevin.
Right.
And genre is also plays a huge role. You know, we got sci-fi, thriller or something for DOA last year.
Sure.
You know, and to your point, not that couldn't have been constructed in a manner that was more comedic. But it was difficult.
Unless you're making Galaxy Quest or something,
right.
It's hard to have like, you know.
Well, I also want to add that like it was kind of our first I wasn't able to be a part of the 48-hour horror last year, and I think that was our team's first kind of really big jump into comedy because the 48-hour horror last year was comedy. Sucks to be vegan.
Yep.
I didn't get to be like a part of that, but. So it was like mine and some of others, like this was our first time really trying out comedy. And I want to say, I'm serious, I want to say like seeing that you guys won last year with comedy and like how well that like really plays with people. And I think that's what we really care about is like audience reaction, not judge reaction or anything.
Yeah.
But like, is it fun to be in the theater and have everyone watch it and have a good time? Like, you're getting that through comedy. And not that the thing has to be a comedy, but at least, like, insert some,
comedic elements.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I think we did take inspiration from, like, Tiny Explosions winning with
100%.
comedy last year.
Well, I mean, there's sometimes where I'm like, comedy doesn't win or it's just the luck of the draw with the judges. But, like, Peach Fuzz won the year before. And I didn't even see that in the theater because I had, like, a 6-month-old. So I just only went to our screening. But did I even go to that? I don't remember.
For the horror or for the normal?
For the normal one 2 years ago.
They won with it was fun. It was like a hotel. Yeah, they were out at the motel. Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
Well, so, I mean, but you guys did, you and Michael, I feel like, I said this earlier, but I feel like everybody needs to mention Michael until you get a GoPro over there.
Everyone
to
point at Michael, so we all know
whip that camera.
Where he is.
No.
He's running this live stream right now.
But so pre-existing, you guys did the Kevin Isaacson, right? You AD'd that and he shot it?
Yeah, Kevin Isaacson brought us on to help him make that,
And that's very clearly a comedy, you know?
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, it'd be hilarious if Kevin called in right now and was like, it is not a comedy.
No, it's 100. He meant it.
It's a hardcore satire about the insurance industry and healthcare.
No. That's comedy for sure.
Okay, so we need to get moving on to our next film.
Oh my goodness! Yeah.
What time is it?
I don't know, but we've been a little bit long-winded about the 48.
7:37.
But these are all the films we're screening tonight are 48-hour films.
From this year.
So this is good for everyone to have in their minds, what the challenges are and what the process is like. So good discussion, I think. But so we're going to move on to our next film. Michael, what is it?
Alienated.
Okay, so this is going to be Alienated. This is from
Retro neon films.
Thank you. Retro neon
nice.
films.
Pat coming in with the save.
Tristan
job.
Bennett, thank you.
Tristan Bennett's
Tristan
team.
Bennett and Skylar Ferguson and this. I've seen this film and it's fantastic, and so we are very excited to watch it.
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen this yet?
I haven't seen it.
Ooh,
Does it have puppets?
No
I mean,
puppets.
All right, if it doesn't have puppets, I'm
if
leaving.
we slip you something, you could think it has
just
puppets.
saying.
No, it's not a no. It's not no puppets necessarily.
It depends on your definition of puppet.
Exactly.
Okay,
We'll see.
roll that.
All right, let's see it. Here comes Alienated from Retro Neon Film.
There you go.
Thank you. 5 years and you still can't remember I'm lactose intolerant.
Damn it. I told them no cream.
It's alright, I'll just shit myself. So, what'd you drag me out of bed for today?
Ongoing investigation. Midwest branch picked up a guy last night. Suits upstairs want you in on it.
Higher ups want me? Why's that?
You're just gonna have to see for yourself.
So what floor is this? Interrogation? I mean, can you just tell me what's going on?
Agent Weaver, this is Jared Vanson. We picked him up yesterday morning, going door to door just outside West Des Moines, Iowa. I'm sure by now you're a bit confused by its appearance, but NSA informed us that it's not from around here.
Not from around here. What do you mean?
It's
Alien.
Mr. Vanson, my name is Special Agent Eleanor Shields. This is my partner, Special Agent Scott Weaver. We're here to ask you some questions about why exactly you're here.
It's nice to meet you, Mr. Weaver.
Could you give us a minute? I'm sorry I couldn't tell you anything. I just thought it was better that you saw for yourself. We ran a ton of tests yesterday over a 12-hour period. It's definitely not from around here. I know this is a lot to take in right now, but it's obvious that you have to be the one to talk to it. Hey, upstairs is breathing down my neck. They want us to go public with this unless we say otherwise. Aliens confirmed, walking among us. The White House could definitely use the distraction right now.
Why go public with this? And what's gonna happen to him?
Personally, I wouldn't want my own alien doppelganger walking the Earth free.
What gives us the right to stop him from doing that?
It's just the decision we have to make. It's our call. You want it to walk free? Fine. Find us a reason.
Okay, Mr. Vanson, I don't know what you are or where you came from, so, I mean, can you help me out with that? Why are you here, Scott? Look, man, let's not do this back and forth stuff. Just, can you help me out? I came here just like anybody else to live my life. But this isn't your home. What kind of life could you have here? And who says this isn't my home? My family has been here probably just as long as yours has. There's more of you? Why does it matter? We're not harming anyone. You didn't even know we existed until moments ago. Where did you come from? When did you get here? I cannot remember where, or when. So I suppose you don't know why you look exactly like me then either? Luck of the draw, I suppose. We're truly not that different, you and I. What do you mean? What's gonna happen to me? What's gonna happen to me, Scott? They want to go public with your existence. Leak everything. Tests, studies. They want to fucking kill you, man. Why? Have I done something? Look, this is who we are. We're afraid of anything that we can't understand. The world will never see you as anything other than a fucking alien. The minute that they'll catch wind of you being here, you're done. You're dead. And it's insane, but the only way that they think they're gonna keep our friends and family safe is getting rid of you. And I don't know if I can help you. But maybe they'll listen to me. If you can just give me something, anything I can take to my friends. Do they not matter? Look at me. We're the same. I've loved. I've hated. I felt everything that you have. I want what you want. To live. It's strange. I came here not to be afraid, but I suppose I get to feel that too. So if it's your choice, what are you gonna let happen to me?
That was great. A lot of good things to take away from that, obviously. Also, like social, I think that their category was social commentary for the 48-hour challenge. That is a tough category to get into.
Oh yeah, I think this is the first year it's been, or at least first time in a while it's been around.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I wouldn't want to pull it, but
I wouldn't either. And
we'd do something ridiculous.
Bold
but
of them to take it on. I'm not sure what the other category was, but they definitely got in as far as they could with it. I think they did a great job.
Yeah, they really lean on that actor. I'm sorry, I don't know the name of it.
Skylar Ferguson.
Yeah, you know the names. Good for you. I know Tristan's name because I follow him online. But yeah, he definitely is a talented guy.
He's great.
Yeah,
like,
you know,
he has the eyes of just like you can tell what he's thinking. It's almost like the Ryan Gosling eyes, you know.
Yeah. Obviously, you understand why they use him so often, but. We've actually been working on like a feature film, and my buddy Brian Hogan, I keep mentioning him. He's like, we should really reach out to him. It's like, yeah, we should. You know, there's a lot of talented people. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. And remind me again, who else is on there? Who we were saying?
I think we were saying Terrell Christie.
Terrell Christie
was the DP on that. Mm-hmm. By the way, you may have noticed that we've changed people in the back. We've got Vern Coonfair and his lovely wife Melanie. They are here for the movie night. We have a whole roster of Mediaverse people back here, so we're going to be switching them out as we change films and allowing multiple people to give their feedback. So, guys, what'd you think of it?
Oh, I loved it. I love the cinematography on that too. The shots that they had there. So who was talking about the lineup at the end when it caught all of them in there? Sorry. Yeah, that shot at the end was awesome when they had all of them in there. Just
stacked up on his shoulder on the back there. Yeah.
Yeah, office spaces like that, at least from our experience, maybe you guys can tell me different, but also this whole studio space here is probably going to be available to build your own office space, but that's hard set to come by,
Office,
and, and then to like dress it up, like set design, even harder, because you're like, did we bring any plants? Probably not. But I think,
and it's supposed to be an FBI interrogation room.
So it's supposed to be pretty boring. I think that TV was probably a choice. I don't know, maybe it was already there, but
I like that they chose to go more blown out with the highlights. I don't know if you noticed that, but like they really blew out the highlights to give it sort of like this. I don't know if it was like a theory to blow those out and give it this like halo effect, elation everywhere.
Yeah, there's a lot of long shots in the film where they're just on Skylar or Skylar 2.0. And cutting back and forth, and then you mentioned you really liked like the swing camera move, and I got to imagine that. So I don't know from how you guys are shooting it, or like maybe when Michael's behind the camera, but I'm trying to do like the very dance of this shot can't be the same as that shot, can't be the same as 2 shots ago. Trying to figure it out, doing something different, and maybe they're sitting in an office for a long time, and they didn't want to just have right down the barrel of the lens,
And you can't really go over the shoulder without some.
Yeah, when you don't have the other guy there.
Right.
Yeah, so, I mean, maybe you could do like a mirror or something.
The 2 shot, the symmetrical shot, they did a great job on that. Like it was seamless.
Looked good.
A little bit on the conference room table, you could kind of tell where they put that in, but the masking was fantastic.
Yeah, and they had the We're Cops shot where the camera's on the hood of the car.
Yeah.
They're driving, it's like you can't have a cop movie where they're, without that. So, yeah, it was cool.
I thought that he killed the emotion.
Skylar?
Yeah.
On both ends.
Yeah. There for a minute, he was like, I was watching it and I'm like, oh, don't kill him. Like, you asshole.
Yeah.
Like, so I thought he nailed it.
Yeah, that was one part I wasn't quite sure. It's like, does Skylar get to decide if Skylar 2.0 dies? I wasn't 100% certain on that.
I think that they, in terms of the story...
What did he want him to do? They wanted him to leave?
I think they just wanted to bring him in as a specialist to be like, hey, this guy looks exactly like you.
Oh, so they're just trying to figure it out. But he was warning him, they're going to kill you, or this is just who we are, this is what we do. Right. But is the end game, you either get out of town, meaning leave Earth, or we kill you? Or he couldn't get out of town, like District 9, he's stuck there?
I thought that it was more like that they're going to kill him. Not just leave, but like, because he was... Yeah, because
they cut to those shots of him
I felt all of these emotions. I'm just as real as you are. How can you do this to me?
It felt like that they gave him a choice in the end of like Skylar 1.0 of like, do we recommend, that we pursue him as an investigation and, dice him
up and see what makes him tick?
Yeah. Let him go as a whatever. And that was his choice to, say one way or the other what he wants to do with him. And I think that's where you get the social commentary thing of like, what does it mean to be human?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he specifies too. You can make the choice. I was waiting for a twist there at the end somehow for him to swap and take the FBE.
Okay. When I first
FBI,
saw that,
whatever's.
I almost expected them to have like an ending shot or like an end credit shot of Skylar, whichever version, one way or the other, walking to his car or something, and you don't know which one it is. Mm-hmm. Leave it up to the audience who made that choice.
Interesting, yeah. I think from the social commentary perspective, like him talking to the camera is supposed to be the character obviously talking to the audience of, immigrants and refugees. These are just normal people. Right. It's like trying to sell that. And so maybe...
I want to say of just people that want to just live and be left alone.
Yeah.
They're not here for any agenda. They're just here to exist.
I will agree that I think that it felt like there was leading towards something, but something that they were intending is like, what do you make of the situation? Oh, there's a bigger situation in hand. But they kind of intercut like him being tortured in the white room. Is that supposed to be what happens next?
Like he's used to the pain and the torment of...
No, I meant like post that room. Are they starting...
Oh, is that a flash?
Awake?
I don't know.
I don't know. Tristan, call in.
Tristan, what do you think?
Maybe the point is to leave that open-ended so that you are wondering, like...
Well, whatever this thing...
Well, that's what the commentary films are about. Because you remember at Best of City, There was the commentary film that it was about a woman who was talking about a rape.
Oh, yeah.
And there was 2 cops, and one of them was kind of like didn't have the time of day for her situation. And it was the same type of thing where they're letting the audience do the math. You know, of, this is how messed up society is in America. You know, that type of thing. So.
I was going to say, too, that verbatim line that they did in this, on all of them that I've seen, some of them seem a little bit forced putting that in.
Works.
This one was just about perfect. It was like the perfect spot when he put that in. I'm like, this really fits for this film.
Yep. I don't remember the tray. They snuck it in there somehow.
Oh,
was it on the table?
It might have been.
I don't know. We had a beer spill situation in here, so maybe we all missed it. Yeah. And they were like, we found this on his person.
We did the same thing with our tray, though. We just put a bunch of sandwiches on it.
Yeah.
You know? It wasn't necessarily a specific purpose for the tray.
I think the team that won, CLD, they had like didn't they win it for prop? With like the silver
plate they used it as a weapon, right?
Yeah, as a weapon.
He was like selling trays.
Yeah, so.
Right.
Yeah, it's always, the prop's a hard one.
Prop's hard. Yeah.
No sound effects I noticed.
I don't know when they were torturing him.
Okay. I'm sorry.
That very sci-fi, like buzz.
Yeah. There was some zapping.
Yes.
Maybe the tray was the
maybe.
torture. Maybe he was like on a tray, like a slab. I don't know.
There were nipples.
There was plenty of nipples in this film.
I feel like we needed to mention that.
So there were 52 films that were completed this year. Why did you select this one out of the ones that were out there?
Not for that one.
Oh,
no.
Okay.
I was not.
Sorry to cut you off.
But I remember watching this one on YouTube and like, how did this one not make it to Best of City? One. And two, like it's just a wonderful film.
Solid piece.
Yeah. Very solid film. And so I definitely wanted to watch it tonight and kind of get people's takes on it, obviously. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, wanted this audience to watch it at least and get some eyes on it. And
cool.
Shout out to Retro Neon because we really respect their work.
Absolutely, right on. Keep going. So the Horror 48's coming up in a couple of weeks, maybe a week and a half, and their film from last year, The Painter, was just screened in Des Moines with our horror film from last year. And yeah, that's a disturbing movie about a guy who uses human blood to paint things. And
that one was cool.
I actually don't know Tristan well. I know him about as well as I knew you guys 30 minutes ago. Like we had messaged between Facebook and occasional at screenings. But somebody at that screening, this isn't exactly what they said, but The Painter played, and then someone said, that guy gives me the creeps. This is
Skylar.
Yeah.
Have you seen... they put this one out with Terrell Christie called The Crooked Place.
Yeah, with the tree.
And Lake and Mims is in it.
Yeah.
And that film, to this day, is one of my favorite short horror films.
Wow.
Like, it blew me away how they executed that movie.
It looks really good.
So good. So
What was
good.
that called?
It's called The Crooked Place.
Oh.
Roll it. No.
About a couple of dudes that go in the woods, and the woods are haunted. Basically, it's kind of the premise, but it is so wonderful. The special effects on it are great. The Skylar's performance is out of this world. But cinematography is good too. Highly recommend it if anyone's looking for like a spooky film to watch that's short.
That's a Lost Utopia film?
That is. I'm not sure if it's on Lost Utopia or Retro Neon. It's Lost Utopia.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, if you want more Skylar Ferguson in your life, go for that one for sure.
Cool.
All right, you guys ready to move on?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah? All right, so the last film that we have selected is from Chase Stein's group. What's the name of it?
Son?
Murder, She Spoke.
Twin Sun
Twin
Productions.
Sun.
That was it. Sorry.
Star Wars.
Oh, yeah, Tatooine. Oh, my God.
I think so.
This is called Murder, She Spoke. This is I believe, horror? Is that their genre? Crime? Okay. We
Hello, witnesses, and welcome to a very special episode, part 3 of our East Village Siren series on Murder, She Spoke. We are currently recording live for our lovely Patreon subscribers, from whom we will be taking calls at the end of the episode. Part 2 covered the victim found in the Des Moines River with a clinically estimated 5 times the normal amount of lorazepam in his system. I have a feeling you will all find Part 3 quite discomposing. But before we jump into that, let's thank our sponsor for today's episode, Even Better Help. Struggling to find a therapist that cares? Try Even Better Help, the world's first AI-powered therapy. Use promo code HOMICIDE10 for 10% off your first 3 sessions. That's HOMICIDE10, HOMICIDE 10 for 10% off. Now, let's jump in. On July 28th, a door-to-door salesman is following his route sometime in the early afternoon. He comes upon an affluent townhouse, unsuspecting, but a seemingly fine score for anyone trying to make a quick buck. Maybe he saw something or someone through the window and saw his opening.
Luttrell, he called for an update on his monthly subscription. So.
Right. Oh, I'm so sorry. It must have slipped my mind. Please, come in, Mr.
Vanson, but please call me Jared.
Of course. Come on in.
Thank you. Now, I can't remember where or when your husband told me that he needed to up the dosage, but all I remember is that he was having trouble or just didn't like the results. So I'm thinking we get him a multivitamin. Mr. Luttrell.
You see, witnesses, this was the first time we'd seen any deviation from our East Village Sirens' MO.
Hey man, wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Whoa, wake up!
What? Mr. Luttrell? Is that...
Jared, what are you doing here?
We had the consultation today, and I saw you on the ground, and your wife, she hit me?
No, my wife.
The lady in black, the lady at your house.
No. The last thing I remember, I drank something, it tasted funny, and then my guts started. My guts hurt a lot. They still hurt a lot. It's really bad.
You want? I got a vape if you want it. Will that help?
Really?
Yeah. It's in my back pocket, so I'm gonna go prone.
You go. Okay, go prone.
Okay. I'm proning. Yep.
I'm gonna get in there and try to. No, I need you to scoot back.
I can't scoot if I'm prone.
I see it. Well, I see.
Just saying.
Oh shit! I can't get to it.
Okay.
I can't get to it.
I think
we just need to stay calm.
If I can break out,
we'll get out of here,
and then we can get the vape. We can also get out.
No. You know, it's like a friction knot. The more you struggle, the tighter they get. That's not gonna work, dude. I need you to save your energy. Are you with me?
I'm here.
Or not?
I'm here.
Just stay calm, and we think like a chess player. We'll get out of here.
What's chess?
You idiots really know how to ruin a girl's day, don't you? You schedule a consultation for what is clearly a pyramid scheme on the same day as their date, and you are the most obnoxious salesman I've ever had the misfortune of dealing with. Be straight with me. It's dick pills, isn't it? Whatever. You guys did this to yourselves.
Why are you doing this?
Sweetie, you can thank your friend here for getting into this mess.
Look, you fucking lunatic, just let us go.
Oh my god, you are so fucking annoying!
No.
And you are seriously a sucky date too.
You psycho bitch! How could you do this?
Oh, don't worry about that. Will matter to you in 10 minutes. Even that's being generous. While we still see her favorite lorazepam and drowning in this slaying, we have the new addition of blunt force trauma to the head. Altogether, a deadly combination.
And now for an update in a developing story. Police have identified the bodies of 2 men found in the Des Moines River as Luttrell Fiore and Jared Vanson. The 2 men are suspected to be the latest in a long string of victims of the East Village Siren, a serial killer who has been claiming the lives of men for the last several months.
Local law enforcement is at a loss as tragedies continue to pile up. We can only hope that this monster is caught before another family loses a loved one. Thank you, my lovely witnesses, as always, for tuning in. Before we go, we will be taking a few calls. You're on.
Hey there, name's Billy, longtime listener, but I'm actually Luttrell's neighbor, and I know it may sound crazy, but I think I actually saw that guy going into Luttrell's house the day that he disappeared.
Wow, Billy, what a connection. Thank you for calling in. Why don't you give me your thoughts and I'll be sure to look into it.
From Twin Sun Pictures. So again, we have a little group change here. So we have Jeremy and Becky Tinder. Welcome,
How we
Jeremy
doing?
and Becky. What'd you guys think?
Thanks. It was good. It was good. I think, I mean, it's always impressive to see these 48s.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a little time to do a lot of work.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty new to this whole process, and it just amazes me at how much can be accomplished in such a short amount of time. And, to turn you into a movie from beginning to end in just a few minutes is pretty remarkable.
Absolutely. And they told the whole story, too. It was I'm not sure what their genre was. Chase, if you're in the chat, let us know what your genre was. I think it was maybe mystery, but that's what we were thinking it was. But the concept was amazing.
And it's one with the podcast and BetterHelp or the Better Help.
Even Better Help.
Even Better Help.
The AI powered therapy. That was just so funny and relevant.
Yeah.
Kind of brought you into it.
So we were talking about how they weren't in Best of City, and when films find out they weren't in it, many of them just post it right away.
Sure.
And Chase did that, and I remember watching it immediately and being like, "Oh man, the bar must be ridiculously high."
Exactly.
I commented that specifically, the bar must be really high at Best City if this isn't in there because it looks great.
How in the world?
It's very clear he set up 3 cameras that one time. Not that goes into judging or anything.
We were saying that in the middle of it when that scene with Chase's brother and the other dude just sitting and tied up, that was all improv.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He was. I was talking to him about it. They just literally just improv that scene and they did it so flawlessly. It was funny and it was witty and it was a little tense and they built the tension and hilarious. And then what was her name? Anna, Chase's wife. She did a fantastic job being the mysterious podcaster, also murderer.
I'm surprised that the concept hasn't been in maybe it has been in a bigger film of the murdering podcaster who's I don't know. It's a good idea.
Oh, as the true crime podcast.
Yeah, the main character,
the
the main villain is a podcaster murderer or a journalist murderer or something like that. I don't know. But
right. What was that? Based on a true story?
Yeah, that's a show on Hulu. That's kind of.
Oh, there is something. Okay, well,
Yeah.
Okay,
well,
I'm sorry.
Kind of they encounter a murderer or whatever.
It's a good idea though, and it looked really good. That shot that they have, of her
in the nose profile.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was shot very well.
Shot so well. The cinematography was great.
Yeah,
I love that
pulls it off
POV shot where they're taking. Again, I'm just going to call him Chase's brother. I don't know his name, honestly. He's Chase's brother.
The salesman.
Jared Vance, putting him into the water. But, yeah, fantastic. I love the lighting, too. The backlighting.
I do wonder if there's some bits at the door that were cut. An exchange between Anna and him. Because she mentions him being the most obnoxious door-to-door salesman. And I've watched it twice now. And it's wait, what did he do? Maybe I missed exactly... what he said at the door.
If there was more cantankerousness between the two of them or something.
Yeah, he might have made some sexist comment or something,
Sure.
That was the one bit where I was like, wait, what happened? I guess he's kind of obnoxious looking. Just messing with you.
Fair.
But yeah.
Yeah, agreed. I think probably with a little more time.
Every team says that.
And that's
it's 49 hours.
Yeah, it's probably cliche, but I think with a little more time that could be a really good story played out longer.
Yeah.
Agreed.
There's sometimes where you watch a 48-hour film, you're like, this idea needs to be expanded on. Or I think there's teams that have done that. When we were in LA for Filmapalooza last year, there was one guy who shot a feature film traveling down the Eastern Seaboard where he just called the best team he could find in a city from 48 and used them as his crew.
No kidding.
As he went down, it's like 2 actors where they like followed the whole time with him, and then he found his AD and DP and all that stuff as he was going down the Eastern Seaboard. So, but there's definitely meat on this bone. They go back and expand it, make it 12, 30, or make it even longer if they just keep on killing people.
Sorry. I'm curious what a 72-hour film festival might look like.
We did a 100-hour film race. There's a filmracing.com. And there was no, for that, there's no, you can make however long a movie you want. So we made like a 14-hour movie called Family Tree. 14-minute movie.
Okay.
14-hour movie. What am I doing?
It's like 3 lonesome doves.
But yeah, so 48's not the only name in the game, but they do guarantee that you're going to be shown in a theater. And sometimes there's money on the line, which you care. But really, like I know you guys enter film festivals with your films. All your labels do. But like I only do it if I'm going to go to the actual theater because I want to see it on a big screen.
Yeah.
And if I can attend. But that's like the nice thing about 48. Why we always do it.
That's what I like about it. Is going to those screens is like the most fun atmosphere.
Yeah.
And whether the movies are good or bad or whatever, like just having everyone in the audience was so much fun.
Yeah, and when you get to the head scratchers of like, why wasn't Murder She Spoke in Best of City?
Yeah.
It's hard every year where I think there's only 12, maybe 15 teams that go to Best of City, and it's hard choices. There's some automatics in there from audience awards and things like that, but it's just the name of the game. That maybe something that looks great, sounds great, just didn't find the right judges or something.
Yeah,
I feel like that's the case this year with Murder.
The acting was good, and there's no like technical or non-technical thing necessarily wrong with it. I don't really have notes for these people as far as like a review of what they could do. But to be honest,
is that what we're supposed to do? Okay, well here's what's wrong with your film, Chase.
Not that we're these like savants with film or whatever, but like no, there's nothing I would have changed about these movies, to be honest with you.
Has anybody in the room on mic or off mic been part of a judging for a film festival or anything like that before?
Have not.
I do that at work with the Film Lounge, which maybe a film involving you people is in this year. But it's not fun, especially when you're like, I kind of know these people, so but then it's always a committee of people who make the choices, just like there's 3 judges for 48. Right. And there were films this year that didn't make it into the Film Lounge that I initially had in my rundown, where I was like, oh yeah, this movie, and I even, kind of talked to a filmmaker a bit about it, is going to be in. And, then the committee gets together and says, oh, I guess that one's on the cutting room floor. So, and maybe, some people are driven by awards, some people are driven by extra screenings, whatever. Chase, Tristan, we wish we were there, Your films deserved it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. Next year we'll be out, you'll be out, they'll be in. And then they'll be sitting in these chairs and we'll be crying at home.
That's true.
Well, one thing that's never ceased to amaze me since I've been in it, and I haven't been in it very long, there are a lot of talented people in Iowa. A lot of these films that I've seen, they pour their heart and soul into it. And, it's got to be tough. There's got to be some heartbreak somewhere. It sounds rough, but somebody's got to come out on top.
There's always snubs, right? Yeah.
That's the beautiful thing about filmmakers in Iowa is there's no lack of passion anywhere.
Teams the carpet bag, meaning they come in from other states to do 48, and there aren't very many in Iowa because it's pretty much a long drive to go to Des Moines from Madison or whatever. But Kansas City only has like 20 teams every year that does it. And Chicago has less than 30. Regularly. Yeah. And these are, obviously some of the biggest cities in the Midwest. Of course, Chicago is. And we're like, we should go to Chicago. We should go to Kansas City. But for some reason, Des Moines, even on years where it doesn't make sense, all of a sudden there's 52 teams.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. Let's show buddy on a Tuesday night during a screening or something. But I love it, Even if you don't win, that's not really the name of the game. That's not what it's about, right? So
the way I see 48s is like you can practice your craft all year long, but a 48 in terms to go to like a weightlifting reference, which I don't lift a lot of weights, but I know that like a 48-hour film, and you look clearly.
I'm terrible.
But a 48-hour challenge is your max day, right? It's like let's see how much of a film we can make. This is almost like as a barometer of like where are we at as
how many puppets can you get in there?
Yeah, exactly. You know, every other film you make, whether it's for money or for fun, whatever, is practice.
Yeah.
But the 48-hour film is this pressure cooker of a
Yeah.
thing that is like, how well do we work with a team? How creative can we be in a short timeline with such constraint? I think that it is just a wonderful, like I said, pressure cooker or pressure test of this crew's creative ability.
Yeah.
I think that it's a great challenge.
Yeah, because if you go out and do a film, just say in June, May, October, or whatever, and it's not with a time squeeze, you can go shoot. Maybe you didn't make your day, maybe you did. You get back and you look at it, and you're like, this stinks. We need to reshoot that. Or, you know, their emotions weren't exactly the same, or they weren't, you know, on par with both the wide shot, medium shot, all that stuff. So you have the ability to go do it and make it perfect. 48 hours, you can do that, but you might miss the finish line. So
yeah, everything else is reps.
Yeah,
yeah.
Right.
Well, and I'm no professional, but I would think that if you have that time, you know, then you start second guessing and you're making a lot of changes and it doesn't come out as authentic or genuine as your original concept. You know, like I think you get a lot of great content when you are so.
Outside of 48, have any of you guys ever gone and done reshoots where you're like, there's a whole third act here that just does not work?
I don't think so. Have we? Off camera, off mic?
Nah, we're too good for that.
You just had to recast Damien and some things. You're like, oh man.
We haven't had to go and like revise anything in a major way.
Yeah.
You know.
We've had pickups.
We've had definitely pickups.
pickups.
Yeah, sure. But yeah, story.
That's
structure
just
has not
spin.
changed anything.
Let's just admit it. That's spin. Pickups.
Pickups. Or like when we're adding, not reshooting.
Right.
It's true. It's true. How about you?
You know, I mostly do things in 48, and that's because time availability and.
You're lazy.
Well, you know, yes and no, but I mean, there's something about 48
Off
or
camera, someone
weekends
said
where
he's
you
lazy.
race. Yes, Damien just said I'm lazy, but you know, sometimes I am. Where you're like, okay, everybody, we're going to focus energy on this weekend. And considering most of the people that I have worked with are amateur actors or people who don't necessarily work in film or have an interest as much as I do, it's like, yes, that weekend I'm going to make it happen. And I will give you 4 hours on Saturday. Don't take any more, you know? And so there's been times where I've made things outside of it and it's great. But I think there's a lot of people out there who like 48 for what it is. I already mentioned this Team One Genome short. I'm not sure that they ever made a film outside of 48. There's another 48 national thing that they took part in. But they made some of my favorite films throughout the years. And they just never stood outside of 48 and made something else. Which, you know, might be kind of odd for people who I know are very talented filmmakers in the state and never done 48. And you're like, you guys should do it. Check it out. It's really fun. You'll be screaming at your best friend at 2 a.m, that type of thing. You know, but
the fights you have on a 48 set are unlike 8 set.
Right on.
You got anything else for us, guys?
I don't personally, except that I've really enjoyed the films. You know, I mean, and
Hell yeah.
the whole experience of, especially the 48s. I mean, it's really, it's an experience if you haven't done it that you can't really describe it. You wouldn't understand it, I suppose. You know?
And it is very daunting to get into it, but once you're into it and you're in the middle of it, it's like, I don't know, it's like this ride you just don't want to get off.
I mean, I'm sure we're wrapping up, but I gotta ask, if what's the dream genre wherever you're like, please pull musical, please pull musical.
Zombies, right, Derek?
What do you want?
Zombies?
Zombies.
Zombie movies are my favorite genre. I never want to make one.
I would like a dark comedy, personally.
Yeah, I think dark comedy would be really fun.
Yeah.
It's not one that they have in there, but like my favorite movies are satires. I think it's because they're freaking hard to pull off.
Yes.
But I would love to, you know, make a satire or a dark comedy, which are very close to each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, for horror 48, is there one that you guys are hoping for?
No, we looked at the list and we're like, man, all of these just seem really exciting.
Yeah.
Like, we can't wait.
At first I was saying I don't want to do clown, but it could be kind of fun to do clown.
Carnival horror? Yeah, that'd be fun.
We got an idea for it. Let's roll.
Zombie. Yeah, he's got ideas for days. Derek's going to be directing. Oh.
Your one thing you told me not to do it.
Derek Smith is going to be directing our horror 48 alongside Damien Alamancino again. So we'll have another co-directing 48-hour situation. But we have a wonderful cast and crew coming on board with us. And we're, a couple weeks away. We can't be any more excited than we are. It's like, holy crap, we just cannot wait.
Sure. Me too.
I can tell. You were telling us about Hogan. He's making all this like
practical
props.
effects very much into
already.
practical effects.
That's why we're coming in a week early to steal your puppets this time.
Yeah.
Well, that's the one thing about this film is like 7 minutes is not enough time for puppets to shine, man. I really want to make a
planned for
feature film
sabotage? 'Cause
with
here we
puppets.
come.
Yeah, if anybody out there wants to rent a puppet, we have a dozen. Several didn't make it in.
I'll take the GIMP puppet.
Terrifying.
The GIMP.
I think the GIMP is the one we shouldn't rent out because you just don't want that to come back.
You don't have a choice. We're gonna steal it.
Some things don't wash off.
Oh man.
And with that, I'm gone.
Yeah, but yeah, we can't wait. Horror 48's coming up October 6th. No.
Yep. 6th
October
to
6th.
8th.
6th, 7th, and
Yep.
8th is that weekend, and then we'll do the screening events the following week. And so stay tuned in October for spooky 48-hour films coming out.
Can I just add before you go?
Yeah, man.
For anyone who's watching Mediaverse and interested, this place is pretty cool. You guys got something really
Thanks,
cool going
man.
on here. I'm excited to one day rent a spot in here and be like, all right, we're going to turn this into the inside of a volcano and make it happen because there's the room in there,
Yeah.
There's all types of potential here.
We can make a volcano.
Exciting. Oh, you're going to make an actual volcano?
You know
How
what?
di- how-
Legal jurisdiction down there.
Cool. I feel like I could rent
Valid
Damien
point.
to shovel 17 feet. What's your day rate?
Cheap as fuck.
But yeah, like he said, so we do have an open house event coming up on October 24th at 6 p.m. So if you are interested in seeing this place, as Patrick so graciously put it, we will be having an open house, sort of a launch party for this business, as you, if you will. And I'm terrible at talking. But yeah, it's going to be sort of like a filmmakers networking event, and we'll give tours, and we'll just kind of show you what we're working on here and let everyone kind of connect together. So October 24th, 6 p.m., come to Marengo, Iowa. As small of a town as it is, we do have an amazing film studio here. So we would love to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming, Patrick. We love having you, man.
Cool.
Michael's yelling at us.
So now let me give my 12-minute dissertation.
Go.
Waffles are better than pancakes. We'll just leave it at that.
Crepes.
100% agreed.
Oh, I love you guys.
Yeah, there is no argument.
Oh.
If you have an argument, put it in the comments and we're going to ignore it. All right, that's going to do it for us tonight. Mediaverse Movie Night, Episode 2, with Patrick Boberg. If you have a film that you want us to watch and mercilessly roast or give massive
Is that what we
praise
were supposed to do?
Sometimes.
I missed out. No.
Send it to us. We would love to hear from you. And reach out to us at Mediaverse Studios on all social media things, including YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. And we will see you guys in the next live stream, the next podcast, the next short form content. We got a lot of cool stuff coming out, guys. We got a lot of films.